the girl who sold mistakes in the small hillside town of Norval. Brightly painted houses lined the narrow streets. Tourists visited for the cool breezes, the handmade crafts, and the peaceful charm. But among all the shops and stalls at the weekend market, there was one that confused everyone. Right at the center, between a bakery and a flower stall, stood a little wooden table with a handwritten sign, "Mistakes for SALE 5 rupees each." By Meera. People laughed when they passed by. Some shook their heads. Some thought it was a joke, because who in their right mind would buy a mistake? But 12-year-old Meera sat behind the table every Saturday calm, confident, and determined. She wasn't selling toys. She wasn't selling food. She wasn't selling crafts. She was selling her mistakes. The past behind the stall Meera had once been a cheerful girl who believed she could do anything. But life had tested her early. At 10 years old, she had accidentally broken her mother's handmade vase, something her mother had spent weeks making for a local exhibition. Meera felt terrible. Even though her mother forgave her, she never forgave herself. Months later, she failed an important math exam. Other children teased her. She began to believe she was just a mistake-making child. Then came the day her best friend, Aisha, stopped talking to her. Meera had forgotten to deliver an important message, and Aisha missed her dance audition. Their friendship cracked. Meera's heart broke. Every night she cried quietly, whispering, "Why do I make so many mistakes? Why can't I be perfect?" She started writing her mistakes on small pieces of paper, folding them into little squares and keeping them in a box under her bed. She thought if she could collect them, maybe she could control them. But the box kept getting full, and her heart kept getting heavy. The turning point: one evening, Meera sat under the big neem tree behind her house. Her grandmother, Nani, noticed her sadness. "What's wrong, Beta?" she asked. Meera hesitated but pulled out the box of folded papers and placed it in her grandmother's hands. "These are all my mistakes. I keep making so many," she whispered. Nan, I opened a few papers. I broke Mama's vase. I failed the math test. I forgot Aisha's audition message. She smiled gently and said, "Meera, mistakes are not meant to be hidden away. They are meant to be shared because every mistake has a lesson, and every lesson has value." Meera looked up, confused. Nani continued, "If you learn from a mistake and share that learning with someone else, you help them avoid the same pain. That is a gift, not a burden." Those words struck Meera like lightning. A gift, not a burden. For the first time, she saw her mistakes differently. The birth of the mistake stall the next weekend. Meera set up a little table in the town market with a single idea. If mistakes can teach lessons, maybe people will value them. She wrote each mistake on a paper, added the lesson she learned, and placed them in small envelopes. For example, mistake: I broke my mother's vase. Lesson: handle everything with attention because love is fragile. Mistake: I failed my math exam. Lesson: even the smartest person can fall if they don't practice. Mistake: I forgot my friend's message. Lesson: don't depend on memory, write things down. She priced each envelope at 5 rupees, not to earn money, but because Nani told her people value things they pay for. At first, people laughed, but one woman stopped and bought an envelope. She read the message and whispered, "I needed this today." Another man bought one for his teenage son. A teacher bought a handful for her students. Slowly, Meera's stall became famous. The day everything changed one Saturday afternoon as the sun warmed the market. Meera noticed a familiar face approaching. It was Aisha, her old best friend. Meera's heart skipped. Would she be angry? Would she ignore her? Aisha stood in front of the table silently. Then she picked up an envelope and read it aloud. Mistake. I forgot Aisha's message. Lesson. When someone trusts you, treat that trust like treasure. Aisha looked up, her eyes softening. You really wrote this? She asked. Meera nodded, tears in her eyes. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you. Aisha took a deep breath and said, I know. And I missed you. Tears rolled down both their cheeks. They hugged tightly. Sometimes the simplest lessons mend the deepest wounds. The impact as months passed. Meera's stall grew into a symbol of hope for the entire town. People came not just to buy mistakes, but to share their own, to confess, to heal, to learn. Parents brought their children. Teachers brought their classes. Elders came to pass on their life lessons. Even tourists took home mistake envelopes instead of souvenirs. Meera kept a donation jar, and whatever money she collected, she used to buy books for students who struggled and school students. Just like her box of mistakes had once broken her spirit. Now it changed lives. The final lesson one evening, as Meera packed up her table, she felt a gentle hand on her shoulder. It was Nani. You've done a beautiful thing, Beta, Nani whispered. Do you understand now? Meera smiled. Yes, she said softly. Mistakes aren't failures, they are stories we outgrow, lessons we carry, and bridges that help others cross safely. Asterisk, asterisk, she looked at the setting sun and felt lighter than she had ever felt before. Her mistakes didn't define her, they strengthened her. Moral of the story: mistakes are not the end of the road, they are signboards that guide us toward wisdom. When we learn from our mistakes and share those lessons, we turn our pain into purpose and our past into power.